So, nuclear bombs. You've probably heard of these guys. Cute little cylinders that can bring about mass destruction and genocide. Dropped in Japan twice during World War II. So, you'll probably wonder, how does it work? And no, I'm not telling you to make them. This video is purely for educational purposes only. And besides, you'd probably be too broke to make it anyway. First, we'll have just a bit of history trivia to kick things off. The nuclear bomb was invented by a guy called J. Robert Oppenheimer, which is too smart for his own good, I gotta say. The project was called Project Manhattan, directed by General Leslie Groves. Okay, that's all, moving on. Nuclear bombs revolve around one simple concept, which is that mass, which is kind of like weight, but not really weight, can become energy. And I'm not saying like 1 or 2 joules, no. I'm saying that 1 gram of that mass lost can be enough for a nuclear bomb. That's also the whole point of Einstein's E=mc2. So the two means of getting said mass is the fission or fusion of the nucleus. But before we get to that part, let's talk about what a nucleus is first. The word nuclear in the name nuclear bomb refers to the nucleus, which is the weird grape ball thing in the middle of an atom. This nucleus contains stuff called neutrons and protons. Neutrons have no charge while protons have positive charges. Now back to whatever I was yapping about. The fission of a nucleus is having a heavy nucleus, which is a very big boy, such as uranium and plutonium, split up into smaller light nuclei, small little children. Fusion is the other way around, with light nuclei such as hydrogen and helium joining together to form a heavy nucleus. So what the hell does this have to do with mass? During fission and fusion, some mass is lost, so they're smaller than what they technically should be. So where does this mass go? Well, it gets turned into energy. The energy which is lost into the air will result in, surprise, surprise, a shockwave. But a tiny little shockwave can't destroy a city, so what causes it to be so catastrophic? The fission of a nucleus happens because heavy nuclei are unstable. The instability means that these nuclei can split apart randomly, leading to fission. But that's not it. This has a chain effect. When one breaks down, the particles which are sent flying will hit the nucleus of other atoms too, so those will split apart too. This leads to a ripple effect, where fission just spreads out over a huge area, but it won't go on forever. Dummy. It usually ends in less than a millisecond, like you in bed.
Bruh.
Now for fusion. For 2 light nuclei to fuse, it'll require them to collide together. But oh wait, there's yet another problem. Positively charged ions are used for nuclear bombs, but ions of the same charge will repel each other. So they'll never collide, just like you and your crush. The only way to counter this is to make the kinetic energy of the atoms so high that they can overcome the electromagnetic force and push themselves onto each other. Do this for a bunch of atoms together, and you get a big boom. Now, a fusion bomb might sound weaker than a fission bomb due to the lack of chain effect. But it's actually the other way around, as fusion allows for a higher amount of energy to be released. For comparison, a fission bomb can have energy worth 500 kilt, and just to clarify, the unit of T refers to 1 TNT. Now, 500,000 TNT sounds like a lot, right? Well, fusion bombs let it cook even more, going up to a whopping 50 million T. Holy shit, how do they even do that? Ahem. Anyways, if you thought nuclear bombs are just big explosions, you are dead wrong. The reactions of fission and fusion itself lead to the release of alpha particles, Fr, beta particles, B, and gamma rays, Gw. Those are what we call radiation. These are the real killers. The radiation is so hot, they can burn your skin. They can cause sicknesses, and can even contaminate land and water. We best be thankful that the usage of nuclear bombs is illegal. But while that might prevent users, the damage can't be undone. So I sure hope you don't become a military leader someday. Well, I hope this useless data has helped you somehow. See ya.